Danny, I know last time didn't go the way you wanted it to go. So give me an idea. What's the focus been like since then, and what's the key been to work on since you had that last result?
Oh man, after that last fight, didn't go the way I wanted. Um, had a little time to look back at it, watched it a few times, see my mistakes, where what I didn't do and what I could have done. Just went back to camp, got back right back to work, and just been focusing on fixing the holes in my game. Um, I really feel like leading up to that fight, it was like a long year for me. Fought 4 times. Had a couple, little setbacks during camp that time. This is the first time I get an actual full camp, and for a fight. All my other fights in the UFC have been 2 weeks or less notice, and I had a lot of time to reflect on that last loss, and I'm back here hungry.
Yeah. Was it difficult to kind of deal with that? Because I feel like you had like all this momentum building up. You know what I mean? Like people were really starting to pay attention, and then you had that. Was it tough to kind of deal with that?
It was, but looking back at the fight, a lot like even I feel like I'm the one that should have got my arm raised that day, but taking from that fight, made me realize I can't be leaving it in the hands of the judges, thinking that I'm winning the fight. So this time around, I plan to be more aggressive and not leave it in the hands of the judges because, we've all seen people, pretty much get robbed, and I just don't ever want to go through that again.
Yeah. Did you have any regrets? I mean, like change of date, change of opponent. All as you mentioned, everything was always last second stuff. I mean, have you decided like that's not the way to handle it moving forward, or is that just the reality that you have to in this sport?
I don't mind, man. It keeps me on my toes. It keeps me, always prepared. Um, to fight, to take these short notice fights. I don't mind. I wouldn't mind being that guy the UFC can rely on taking short notice fights. So yeah, man. Last year was just all work, and I've been in fight camps in January. I wasn't sure who I was gonna fight, but I packed up my stuff, and after that fight in January, went out to a BMF ranch, and just got an early start on this on whatever opponent that the UFC was gonna give me, and sure enough, it was Mike Perry.
Yeah. I was going to ask you. So despite the loss, and we talked about all that. I mean, they give you Mike Perry, which is going to bring eyeballs to a fight. Probably going to be an entertaining fight. So what did you think when they gave you that name?
Man, that's a great opportunity. Especially coming off a loss. Well, we're both coming off losses, and it's just a great opportunity. It's kind of like a blessing in disguise, really, for me. Because I need a big name opponent. And as hungry as I am coming off that loss, this is the perfect opportunity for me.
Nice. I saw all the work you've been putting in at the ranch. Had you been out there before, or was this the first time you'd gone out there?
Nah, man. I go there quite a few times. I originally went out there because Cowboy has that Diego Sanchez fight, and we're boys. I wanted to go out there, and he said this is his last run, so I want to be a part of that. And after this fight, I'm gonna go back out there too. But yeah, man, I've been out there a few times. Like even before I was in the UFC, I was out there about 6 months at least in 2019. In preparation, in hopes that I'll get the call. And sure enough, I got the Contender Series fight. I won, but didn't get signed that night. But I just kept grinding, and I got my opportunity.
Nice. Last thing for me, like I said on paper, this looks like it should be a pretty entertaining fight. I mean, are you expecting to go out there and have, a fight of the night type thing, or do you feel like you can go in there and dominate and not have to have a kind of a back and forth war?
I would like to go out there and dominate. When I train, in my mind, I envision those wars. That's what pushes me. That's what like keeps me going. Next thing you know, I'm running, and I'm thinking about these wars, and next thing you know, I'm sprinting. So I use it all as motivation, and on paper, yeah, this is a great fight. It's great matchmaking by the UFC. Opening it up for on ABC, and it's gonna be a great fight. But of course, I'm trying to go out there and completely dominate. That's the plan.
Are there certain fights like this one where you look at it going into it and think, well, no matter what way it goes, I'm probably in for a scrap here? Is this one of those fights that you just know it's going to be a bit of a crazy affair, however long it lasts?
Yeah, of course, of course. Mike Perry style, and he's an aggressive fighter. You know, he's a little unpredictable at times. You never know what to expect out of the guy. One fight he looks great, next fight he don't. You know, so I'm just coming out here fully prepared. You know, full fight camp, and you know, just ready to go to war. Or if not, you know, pick him apart. You know, it all depends on you know who really shows up that night. But I'm ready.
What do you make of Mike as a character, man? Like, you know, we've got the girlfriend in the corner. He doesn't want anyone else around. What do you just think of him as a person?
Definitely a character. You know, he's got, you know, he's crazy. He's crazy. You know, even just the way he talks, he's just like, man, this guy's, you know, but he backs it up. So, really, I mean, he's his own character. You know, on my own. You know, I want to fight him. You know, stylistically, and you know, it's just a great fight. You know.
Looking forward to it, man.
Yeah.
Afternoon, my man. Thanks for taking the time with us. You got the big ABC exposure, working with Donald, and you know, they say that the loss is the biggest way to learn something. Could you have picked a better spot to put everything together on this platform on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, coming off a loss and full fight camp, and you know, this is the. You know, I'm hungry, man. This is the perfect opportunity on national television, you know, to gain the exposure that I've always wanted, and with the perfect opportunity with Mike Perry, you know, to really gain some momentum and you know, take these higher level opponents. I feel like he's the beginning of the next level opponents I'm gonna start facing.
Did you get any inside scoop on how to beat Mike? Because obviously with Donald, he kind of knows the blueprint.
Yeah, I mean, he's not really too difficult to break down. You know, we have a game plan. You know, and I definitely picked up some pointers over at the ranch. But you know, when he fought Donald, that was a while back. You know, I never really focused too much on opponent's tape or anything like that, because as myself, I'm never the same as my last fight. I'm always constantly improving, and you know, I just expect that out of my opponents. You know, from experience. You know, I've made mistakes where I look at a tape and expect a certain fighter and get something better. So even though I won like those times that I went through that. I always take something out of every fight, whether it's win or a loss.
Excellent. And can you give us a little insight onto what it is to chop it up with Cerrone, who's been in there from the WEC days to a UFC veteran, and you kind of get to catch him in the twilight because he might be out, you know, retiring soon. That's the best cowboy you could get. How was it to work with him?
Man, it's always been a pleasure. I mean, like me and that guy, we're boys. You know, that's my homie. You know, he's helped me. You know, he's invited me over to his ranch, you know, and kind of made me a part of family, and I definitely feel like it. You know, he's got all the wisdom in the world. He's got, you know, just I learned so much from that guy, you know, whether it's from being a fighter, just being a man in general. So that's my homie. I take so much from him, and you know, can't wait to make him proud and shit, you know.
Excellent. Thank you, sir, and best of luck on Saturday.